Hi, I'm Kevin Carlyon. It's the 30th of October 2013 and I'm in where I call my Witchy Woods, and I'm going to talk to you for a short time about ghosts. Now, I firmly believe in ghosts because I've seen more than one, and that is why I take teams of people out to support supposed haunted houses where I'm called into to determine if somebody does have a supernatural problem. Very often absolutely nothing happens, and 4 or 5 hours can be spent with no results at all. Sod's law is that you can be packing up all your gear, everything's away, and the sun can just lift off and flip across the room. Happened more than one occasion. But ghosts, when you see them, when you have your first experience, everybody reacts differently. One girl pooed herself. Someone else felt very, very sick and thought they were going to throw up. Other people feel exhilarated, and me myself, it's like being plugged into the mains, like power going through you from every direction. And when they appear, they can take 3 forms. One, like lots of little hazy dots, like somebody beaming down in Star Trek. Secondly, they can be see-through, as you would see in films. And thirdly, as solid as you and me. Sometimes you see absolutely nothing at all, but that is where things start moving around, smells occur, strange sounds, so there's all sorts of ways that these things manifest and come through. Now, I believe in something called electro-paranormal power. That's a phrase that I came up with back in about 1985, 86, I think that would have been, 85. And basically what it means is that ghosts are made up of electricity, and when the body dies, particularly in a traumatic way through murder, suicide, something very, very emotional going on, then I believe that the soul of a person can be imprinted into the surroundings. It's called the stone tape theory, and that's named after a film that came out on BBC television in the UK in 1970s, beginning of, and it's based on a play by Nigel Neal, and it relates how when something traumatic happens, the soul is released and it can be captured, maybe like in this tree. And when certain weather conditions are right, when there's a lot of static electricity in the air, or when somebody's on a psychic frequency, maybe along the same lines as the person who died was, then they witness these events. And basically it's like watching a film being replayed. So you will see the same movement over and over again. So I firmly believe in that theory, and I believe that surroundings, whether it's daytime, nighttime, ghosts don't just come out in the day, night, they can be around all the time. When you see the idea of thunder and lightning in films, and you've always got the crack of thunder associated with ghosts, that is actually quite accurate, because when there is a lot of static electricity in the air, then that can be a time when there can be more supernatural activity. Other people generate their own electricity, and in particular I found that some women who wear tights can generate a lot of static electricity in their clothes. And I had one girlfriend who, I mean, she could virtually blow me across the room sometimes. There was so much energy coming out of her, and she was seeing things all through her life, right from childhood. And I believe that this is something that can occur with people if they're generating electricity. Sometimes it can be their body generating it, or sometimes it's the clothing that is there that can do it. But either way, it's quite fantastic. Now, I don't go out to prove to people that ghosts exist. I know they do. So I take people out and we go to where people ask me to go, supposed haunted places, to determine whether a person has got a supernatural problem or not. Very often or not, there's nothing there. It's just a person who wants a bit of a thrill, a bit of attention, they're lonely. Other times, very, very genuine things do happen. And this is where you differentiate between spirits that are just being replayed and ones that are physically able to retain their individuality. And sometimes these can be the more menacing ones, because just as they were evil in life, they can be very evil in death, and they can wreak all sorts of havoc, from fires to throwing things around, basically to trying to kill people. I know it sounds quite dramatic, but some of the things that you do see in the horror films do happen. And very often, you know, like here at the moment, it's very still. Let's supposing something traumatic happened here now. Let's supposing I was suddenly murdered or hung myself from a tree or something. Then I believe that the surrounding area would capture that image or capture that identity, and either just an image or the soul of a person can actually come back through. Sounds wacky, you know, there'll be people out there skeptical thinking, oh, what a load of rubbish, but until you've experienced it, you can't comment on it. And when you do, it can be like going up and down on a roller coaster ride. It can be very, very thrilling, and the adrenaline rush you get is absolutely fantastic. But the first thing that you do is you question, did I just see that? That couldn't have happened. And that seems to be the main reaction. Sometimes in a group, there'll be people that can actually smell things, hear things, observe things, and people's minds are like radio receivers and television, television if you like. They see and hear different images to each other. So when one person says they've just seen something and other people haven't seen something, doesn't mean that that person is lying. But it is essential when people come along on my ghost trips that they tell 100% the truth. And it's far better to say, no, didn't see anything, didn't experience anything, than to make it all up. The ghosts don't just come out at night or replay at night. They can be here just now, like they are. I'm here in these woods. There could be something here now with me. And I've done enough ritual magic down here over the years, the last 30 odd years, to accumulate a massive amount of energy which there is down here. And personally, if I chose anywhere to haunt, it would be these woods. I'd love to haunt these woods and put the spooks up a few people. But if you find the supernatural and paranormal of interest, or you've had any experiences that you'd like to share, why not get in touch with me, Kevin Carlyon, and you can do that, email, simple kevincarlyon@aol.com, or look me up on the internet and all my contact details are there. But you never know, maybe one day you'll be coming out, you'll see a ghost, and once you have, you just want that thrill again and again and again. It is like feeding a rush, an adrenaline rush, like an addiction if you like, because you know something's there, you know something's different. People can be on psychic frequencies if you like, and you don't have to be anybody special, because it could just happen without you even knowing it. And sometimes a spirit can be as solid as you and me, standing right next to you. You look back, gone. When I was 16, I was out fishing off the Sussex beach in St Leonard's on Sea here, and about midnight, because I've just looked at my watch, this old man suddenly appeared and he said, "Excuse me, got the time?" And I looked down and I said, "Yeah, it's exactly midnight." Looked up, no one there. My first reaction was, I imagined it. No one around. It was very clear across the sand, even though it was dark, because of all the street lights along the promenade. But then I thought to myself, no, not sure. Next night I was on the beach, exactly the same thing happened. This time I thought nothing, grabbed my rod, grabbed my tackle box, and I legged it. I was gone. So I took a friend down there the following night, expecting it to happen again, and it didn't, and of course he thought I was making it up, thought I was mad. But yeah, ghosts, if you see one, it's the most fantastic experience you could have, and I would recommend it to anybody and everybody. And one ghost that I have seen recently was a lady contacted me and said at 3:15 every morning in this house in Burwash, there was a big slam of a door and they saw this woman kind of walk out of the wall, walk partly up the stairs, climb over the banisters, and then she seemed to hover in the air. And I always go along skeptically open-minded, and I went along. 3:15